A definition change means to render essentially different. Black Laws Dictionary 91B. The plan continues on the current path of foreign policy. U.S. Department of State 97. The United States remains committed to maintaining a constructive relationship with Russia, which we seek to expand our areas of cooperation and bring the era of difference without confrontation. C. Standards 1. Bright line. We provide the best bright line to showcase that meet the overarching goals of the status quo and these new policies. 2. Limits. We limit out cases that would be based on status quo current policies that are just extensions of the current policies, allowing cases like ban tobacco ban BMD and ban trees. D. Tokens the vote of 1. Fairness. It's not fair for them to non-meeting our dispatch by using plans that aren't alternatives. And 2. Jurisdiction. 3. Education will increase education by limiting to 4 topical cases only. Next. T. Towards A. Definition. Toward based on the direction of Webster's 97. B. Violation. Plan acts towards the agency for international development, not Russia. C. Standards 1. Limits. We limit to 4 topical cases like negotiations without over-limiting deepest education is best because it equates usable knowledge. 2. Bright line. We set a clear definition. This decreases judge intervention. 3. Potential abuse. Enough. Acting outside of topicality allows affirmative claim advantages who we're not prepared for. Next. Complete topicality is necessary. Only evaluate the whole plan. Don't allow plan spice. That kills the negative ground. Next. Look at plan text. Only evidence misses burdens and forces intervention. Next. You build on topicality for fairness and education. Extra topical actions excluded and illegitimate for fairness. Next. Spanos. By framing the world in a problem-solving model, the 183 constitutes a part of its resolvable delay of the commands from the military-industrial complex and the technical advisory agency that acts as the final solution to the Russian problem Spanos 93. But to restrict this bond skills absolutely demonize other simply to the context of military operations directed by the visible use of force by the state is misleading in a way that dissolves the disables criticism to isolate critique to the side of the over manifestation of powers to limit such critique to the radical discrimination between military intervention, the culture, discourse, and practice accompanying it to the rationalized conclusion of the American destruction of the Vietnam as a culture with the result not the fulfillment of the American ideological narrative, but the American command that it wasted Vietnam trying to fulfill the restricted narrative of the economy was not really military political command, was rather related command to the same with the government, to the military industrial policy, to the network of technical advisories, advocating the rational discourse and problem-solving model, and that those liberal humanist and intellectuals responsible for American foreign policies using planning, these systematic can-do memorandum constituted typical discursive practice that is unerring obliteration of potentially disruptive differences in the name of its identity was in essence the same as military technical practice that unerring and undiscriminately destroyed Vietnam in order to achieve a decisive victory for the principles of freedom. A final solution as for the Vietnam problem. Since the subject of the Vietnamese Indian picture, the consciousness of the policymakers as the cause has mentioned that exists for them at least 9 memorandums. The routinized indifference of the Vietnamese face-to-face experience of the horror serving the technicist, discursive practices relay American commands applies with exceptional forces to the responsible dissemination, agriculture knowledge and practice, especially that the cultivation of rice. The Vietnamese people like the overdetermined military and political process. These benign agencies, especially agricultural aid, were in fact acts of systematic violence determined by technological American end. The problem-solving model transforms distinct human beings into a statistical system in order to achieve political ends like the Nazi planners. Omen 75. And thus reducing and separating something reduces the frame of problem-solving discursive economy, the can-do memorandum, the Pentagon Papers, betray a commitment to taking that into transformation of human beings to counters in a statistical system, voting fiction, achievement of political ends was not unlike that important discourse practice of the Nazi planners. It's a rigged game. The problem-solving model picks out events of reality to justify itself. Omen 75. Anyone reduces complexity, increases faithfulness, reality, finiteness. If you have to decide something tomorrow, next week, it's still may be necessary to sort reality out of the problem-solving model supplies a way that connects reality to desire for one or more acts. We must pick out some elements from reality that have the most salient ties to desire future. This, of course, is abstract elements from the present way that reflects one's own needs and interests. Inevitable breakdowns in the model sanctioned indiscriminate violence. Spanos 93. To repeat this all, but to forgotten history, then the technical refuses NLF and NBA to engage American knowledge to decisive violence to participate in recipient terms of the narrative of presence or repulsion, denotation or rethinking by the American command of its ethnocentric representation of the Southeast Asian mind and culture and thus of the American interests. Rather, particularly does it refuse to trigger intensification of binaries, misinterpretation of this Orientalist representation. It compelled American command to see not only communists, Viet Cong, the North, the Vietnamese, but all the Vietnamese people, indeed the very Vietnamese earth. As I said after this trial, where my troops were getting massacred and mauled, and I couldn't see, I couldn't feel, I couldn't touch, and that no way in the military system ever described them as anything other than communists. Vote to rethink. Voting negative is an intellectual endorsement to open up different spheres of thinking. Spanos 93. Only rethinking of the post-enlightenment is in terms of decentering of the privileged centered and specular metaphysics can be adequate to the genealogy and critique of modern narrative where specular instruments of discrete denomination of both lyrical and scientific and hegemonic, which is not restricted by the binaries of Occident. The impact of the discourse of the left in the face of the massive Western representations of the recent events of the East bears dramatic testimonies of historical precipitated imperative rethinking the genealogy of Occident and modern narrative. Next on the case, inherency. U.S. has withdrawn its companies in Russia and is implementing legislation to stop environmental regulations. Interpress Service 98. A U.S. government insurance agency criticized the past support of environmental destructive mining projects in Indonesia, logging projects in Russia's Clean Up Act, OPIC, which provides over $24 billion in corporate efforts, insurance U.S. corporations operating in other countries recently reached a number of important environmental reports. For the past 2 years, environmentalists have been pushing the government agency to support socially and environmentally responsible companies. In 1995, the government agencies are also very clearly knowledge and political interest in the global consortium of Pacific Northwest almost to log up to 1 million acres of virgin burned resource in the Russian Far East, according to a lot of history held commission OPIC to top of environmental regulations. Russian toll logging now. Russia's implementing a licensing program to control deforestation now. The Economist, June 98, to help preserve it. Russia started issuing exclusive licenses, particular areas to individual forests less from forestry. North American sea and Navy is like grading firms long. At least over patches of forest can give the companies concerned in this incentive to tend regenerative trees so as to maximize future harvest. And besides being more reliable than the old Soviet era, these machines are designed to damage the soil less. Next, the Russian government employs the highest quality forest experts in the world who are providing crucial information on how to safely cut the taiga. The Economist 98. The Soviet movement level science also built up an internationally respected community of forest science. Some 30-year forest research institute of its very across the country and through finance has dropped sharply, and a number of prominent researchers have left. The scientists still study everything from tree genetics to recent tapping providing an invaluable ways for both the conserved and the exploitation of the taiga. Next, the Russian government restricts companies from logging areas that are situated on permafrost, guaranteeing that there is always regrowth. The Economist 98. Another use of legacy from Soviet times is a better than average system of forestry regulation. This system lists the area of land that forestry forms that allow clear cut. Many Siberian forests are completely protected by this system because they lie in soils known as permafrost that frozen on year-long fallen trees that opens the permafrost to sunlight melting and causing swamps where trees cannot regrow. And next, the Russian government refuses to cede power over the forest to its inhabitants. The mafia-controlled logging industry assures that. The Daily Yumiki 97. Logging is one of the most profitable industries as well as one of the most mafia-dominated, the Russian Far East, meaning no one wants to make a quick decision. There are also golden coal seams in the beacon, but the authorities are unwilling to lock away. Next, the indigenous people of Russia have successfully blocked logging operations through the local government, the fact sheet 97. Sveta applied to the Primovsky Regional Administration for a license to increase land along available for logging, and local administration approved the transfer of logging rights to this additional land after violent suppression of the Socio-Economic Union, Unity and non-need people. The Primovsky Regional Council voted to overturn the decree granting Slatva the extra logging rights. Slatva appealed the decision of the Regional Court. The court ruled the court had exceeded its authority and overturned the administrator's decree. The species of the boreal forest are found all over your age, the fact sheet 97. There are few species found in boreal. The suboreal forest is comprised of primarily trees, large and for these trees are quite vulnerable, require growth to 2 or 3 times longer than anywhere in Russia's Far East because of the subarctic climate. Animal species that are home to there are found all across Asia and Europe. Next, the logging in Russia will be environmentally sound, preserving nature, enriching lives. The Daily Urmi 97. We're seedling growing facilities that means at the same time we kill trees, we also grow trees, then we can enrich human lives. Next, logging is sustainable. Easterbrook 95. Logging is sustainable. Many industries someday will be converted to renewable economies. Logging is among the few already in that category. Rational and environmental policy must encourage consumers to substitute wood for materials based on non-renewable metals and petroleum chemicals. Logging in Russia will be environmentally sound, preserving nature, enriching lives.
Okay. The Spanish argument. Is your argument that the harms that the 1NC presents aren't true?
Yes. That they're just like made up to justify the actions of being in
What about the cards you read on case, and also the other cards you're reading on inherency? It said that there's been environmental damage done. Wouldn't that grant us a harm?
No.
So, why?
Because we have to attack it on all levels too. And that's one answer. That we can't. If the harms are there, they're not that big.
So we should just ignore them.
No, we need to
So if you walked out of your front yard tomorrow morning and you see like a little baby laying in the streets and he's suffering, obviously like a skinned up knee, he's trying to be fell off his bike, you're not going to help him?
No, because I see him and I personally know that.
So you won't help, you won't pick him up and help him, like maybe put a bandage on the knee.
But I see him, that's me seeing him, and so I'm not just giving him like generic solution to solve his problem, whatever. I see him, I know he needs help, or he'll ask me for help or whatever.
So the government agencies, the people in the United States government that can affect and solve environmental problems, see that there's an environmental skin knee in Russia. Why can't we go bandage that up?
Because that's a big organization assuming that they have a problem and fixing it.
So the fact that the 1AC cards quote the specific people in the Udegi culture saying we need help, our culture is being destroyed and we can't do anything? I mean, isn't that enough of a specific person pleading for help?
But the cards, are the cards coming from like the Udegi people?
Yeah, there's Carol Williams interviewed some of them. There's people being quoted saying we cannot live how we want to.
But
Isn't that enough of a harm?
No, because we're saying that the Carol Williams or whomever is like.
So a Udegi lie is
Yes.
basically what you're saying. So any harm that the affirmative presents is a lie.
No.
Then what's the distinction? How do you distinguish between something that's true and something that isn't?
Very simple.
Huh? How do you distinguish between something that is true and something that is not true? How do we make that distinction?
If you go over there and you personally know like each little problem and you give them like a unique solution to the unique problem, then you know
Sounds like the 118. Okay. I also like to ask you a little bit about some of these Spanos cards. Spanos is talking about the Vietnam War. How is that germane at all to the affirmative?
It's just empirical proof saying that there's an inevitable breakdown.
Okay, so there's no specific proof or specific link to this argument that discusses the modern United States government in relation to forestry or in relation to environmental protection.
It's just that you're using that mindset, the problem-solution grid, that you're saying that there's this problem.
Yeah, but Spanos is specific to the war, right? How is that linked to the affirmative?
No, it's just saying that any
Where
presence.
does it say that?
Okay.